The presuppositions of existence are generated by the use of certain linguistic forms such as possessive adjectives, in this case my, her, his, their, our, or the use of proper names. With the use of these principles, it's understood that something exists because they are directly related to the existence of a subject or object. In this case, for example, my house in Suva, it means that I have a house. Yeah. For that reason, we can infer that there is a building in Suva. Yes, and Suva also exists as a location of in Bogota. Another example is Pablo's bicycle. In this case, Pablo has a bicycle. In this case, we can infer that this object exists. There is a bicycle physically and is the property of Pablo. This principle is frequently used by police officers and detectives, since by means of this technique they can assert the existence of something that they are looking for. Linguistic pragmatism is that trend where the interest is not the meaning of the specific words. Rather, it is interest in the context in which they are used, and from there it will go their meaning.
Now, let's talk about presuppositions and truth values. Presupposition is a linguistic process that can fail. For instance, one of the problems of sentences that contains unsatisfied presuppositions is that sometimes we are not able to tell whether they are true or false. Let's have a look on the next example. We have two statements here. One is affirmative and the another is negative. The first one says, yesterday, Disneyland had over 3,000 visitors. And the second one says, yesterday, Disneyland did not have over 3,000 visitors. If we infer here as readers, we will probably acknowledge the existence of a place called Disneyland because of our prior knowledge. Furthermore, taking that inference aspect, we have here a satisfied presupposition that provides to the statement a certain validity. But now, are the statements true or false? How I identify it? A step to follow is to identify the unsatisfied presupposition. If a sentence and its logical negation both seems equally untrue, then that sentence likely has an unsatisfied presupposition. And now, how I know if a presupposition is satisfied? In the case of a discourse, the participants must believe that the presupposed information is true, or when the information contained is considered as common knowledge. Finally, let's talk about the presupposition triggers, which are words or phrases that used in a sentence often indicate the presence of a presupposition. In the next example, we can analyze the phrase come back. The first statement says, Linus came back to the pumpkin patch this October. And the second one, Linus did not come back to the pumpkin patch this October. The part about having been there before is presupposed. And for sure the presupposition is not satisfied.
Well, the third type of presupposition is prosody as a presupposition trigger. It is a construction or item that signals the existence of a presupposition in an utterance. The prosodic structure of our utterances can also cause certain information to be presupposed. A particular way of seeing how prosody affects presupposition can be evidenced in sentences containing additive words and a particular pitch accent in the same words or in another ones to make them more prominent than others. To illustrate that, we are going to see the next video.
Es muy fácil hablar no con la primera línea diálogo, reconocimiento, si hacen bloqueos hay que entenderlos, etc. Eso es muy fácil. Muy difícil lo que hicieron Gabriel Velasco y María Fernanda Cabal, decir que necesita autoridad. Me parece que ella, también destaco al senador Velasco, fue solidaria con su tierra, con sus vallecaucanos, al hacer oír su voz y pedir que se frenara esa destrucción.
Okay. With this video, we can see how Uribe says, me parece que ella, y también destaco al senador Velasco, and he does an emphasis in the word ella. The word también in this trigger presupposition indicates that someone else does something in addition to ella, María Fernanda Cabal, because the prominent word is ella. Hence, its use is acceptable because we notice that Velasco did something similar to Cabal, while it will be infelicitous if Uribe omitted the adverb to or también, because we wouldn't know that Velasco did something similar to Cabal. It will just appear without the context of the additive word también. Additionally, we can notice how he makes more prominent the words autoridad, ella, and the utterances solidaria con su tierra, con sus vallecaucanos, and al hacer oír su voz. Well, we are not going to analyze it deeply because it belongs to discourse analysis, but we cannot avoid to think why he makes those words and utterances more prominent than others. It is a use of presupposition in the creation of socio-political dominance in voting of the next year. Well, just to finish, we are going to see the last presupposition, that is presupposition accommodation, which is related to presuppositions we find plausible and accessible. Again, to illustrate that, we are going to see the next video.
¿Cuál es la mejor manera de educar? El que quiera seguirle pegando, bien pueda, péguele. Yo lo invitaría a que más bien considere formas de educación distintas, respetuosas del niño, que generen en ellos valores y convicciones en torno a lo que está bien y lo que está mal, y no simplemente obedecer las normas porque nos da miedo que nos peguen. Porque parte de la razón, Melqui, por la que los colombianos no cumplimos la ley, y usted lo ve en las encuestas que se hacen. ¿Por qué tú me pegas? Yo no te pego.
Okay. Could be plausible Paloma Valencia hurt her daughter? Well, in this case, we accommodate the presupposed information to understand what is happening. However, in terms of accessibility, we don't know if Paloma's daughter is saying the truth because we don't know all the information and the direct home context of that situation. Okay, that's all about presupposition in pragmatics. Thank you so much for watching our video.